If you've been following my recent content on Civilizations SMP, you would know there's 4 main civilizations, but I haven't talked much about the individual lore of each group, so seeing as each civilization is unique and there's a lot to say about each one, I figured I should make a video about the different civilizations. Well, let's get into it. There's 4 main civilizations on the server, as well as a mysterious 5th group of players that I will briefly mention later on in the video. The first civilization is called ETERNIUM. ETERNIUM is a small group of traders and merchants found in the desert. They are the least organized out of the 4 civilizations, with no clear main city or town, but instead lots of small settlements that are found across the desert under the leadership of their king, Benjamin Siegel. Because of how unorganized their society is, they have no real army or defensive plans, so if a conflict did occur involving ETERNIUM, Ben would most likely have to rely on his allies. Luckily for Ben, he has many close allies, such as the civilizations of Invicta and the IOM. There's a 3-way trade network that has been established by this alliance, and it has made ETERNIUM the most profitable place on the server to be a merchant. And as a result, the citizens of ETERNIUM are some of the wealthiest on the server, even though the civilization itself has weaker infrastructure than the rest of the groups. The next civilization that we're going to take a look at is the Imperium of Man, or the IOM for short. The IOM is a compound of warriors and builders who have united under the Emperor Crashmaster. The IOM also has a unique origin story compared to the other civilizations on this server, and if you watched my last video, you would know about this, but just in case you haven't, I'll give you a quick recap of what actually happened. Originally, the IOM was a civilization called Oswalden, a small port city that lay in a resource-rich part of the taiga forest. Oswalden was led by a player named Meep, and due to his low amounts of ambition and his oppression against his citizens, he was a highly disliked leader. Due to this, Crashmaster saw an opportunity to seize power, so he created the Rebellion, a group who would declare war on the Oswalden government and proceed to overthrow it with the help of Invicta, my civilization. After Crashmaster's victory, he proceeded to exile Meep and the rest of the Oswalden government for their past crimes against the new government. This is just a quick summary of this event, and for further detail, make sure to go check out my previous video where I discuss this content in further depth. Anyways, let's get back into the video. After Crashmaster took over the IOM, he immediately saw success as the new emperor as he was well liked, and he worked side by side with his people to construct many resource farms and other forms of infrastructure to bring prosperity to his civilization. The IOM has grown into one of the server's greatest civilizations, and it's clear they would be a big threat in any war they join. However, for the time being, the IOM has made alliances with both ETERNIUM and Invicta in order to keep good relations with the rest of the server. The third civilization that we're going to take a look at is Invicta, my civilization. Invicta is a brotherhood of warriors who work well together, and as a result they have formed the most active and large community on the server. Invicta is also the most organized group on the server with a governmental hierarchy put in place. At the bottom of this hierarchy lies the brothers. These members are the basic workers, warriors, and general members of the civilization. They have no absolute power in Invicta, but their importance varies per person. The next position on the Invicta hierarchy is the Cardinals. These members of the civilization are sub-leaders who each help to control a different section of the civilization and regulate it accordingly. The highest position on the Invicta hierarchy is the Grandmaster. I'm the current Grandmaster of Invicta, and as the Grandmaster, I lead all the Cardinals directly, and through them I indirectly manage the faction. I also hold the head seat on the Invicta Council, which consists of me and all the Cardinals. Due to Invicta's large population, the capital city of Invicta, Sanctuary, has become the most large active player hub on the server, with everything from massive walls to skyscrapers being constructed. Sanctuary is also the home to nearly 30 players, and it also supports a wide array of automated farms and other important infrastructure that has helped make Invicta one of the richest and most resource-rich civilizations on the server. On top of all that, Invicta has also made an alliance with the IOM after the Oswalden Rebellion, and it's clear that if war broke out, both civilizations would support each other. The fourth and final civilization that we're going to take a look at is the Industrial Empire, or TIE for short. TIE is a civilization that has formed an empire of many small bases and towns spread throughout the map, but their main base is a massive safehouse style bunker deep underground in an unknown location. They are led by Spoon for Life, a redstone engineer who has led his civilization in creating many massive industrial grade farms and machines that have been used to make the TIE bunker both secure and functional. As of this moment, the Industrial Empire is very secretive, so there's not much to say about them, but due to their farms they have the largest stash of war supplies on the server, so it's clear there's a lot in store for them. With the 4 civilizations out of the way, there's only one last group of players on the server that aren't part of any of the main groups, and that's the Mercenaries. Mercenaries are solo players who have no direct affiliations with the 4 main civilizations, but instead they act alone and can be paid to do work or to fight for any of these groups if necessary, and they often play a huge part in wars and indirectly have a huge impact on the civilizations. That just about summarizes the lore of each individual civilization on the server. Make sure to subscribe because there's a huge event that just took place on the server, and I'll be uploading a major lore video soon. Also, if you haven't already seen these videos on screen, make sure to check them out if you want to see more Civilizations SMP content.